This is my tortilla dough batter right here. I am going to show you a method of making gluten-free tortillas that might be a little different than what you've read before. In many books, they tell you to spread it out with your fingers in the oven on a baking sheet. And they tell you to spread it out to a 1/16 of an inch thickness. I find that to be impossible. So momentarily, I'm going to show you how I do it. The next thing I'm going to do is pull out my griddle and preheat it. You need either a griddle or a wide fry pan and medium low to low heat. The next step, 1 or 2 pieces of foil. If you have a lot of dough, I use 2, even 3 to alternate. If you only have a little, 1 or 2 is fine. And what you will do is you will grease the foil with butter or lard. Coconut oil I've tried and it doesn't work. You need to use a real animal fat like butter or lard. Another possibility at some point, I'd like to try to figure out a way to use silicone. Maybe you could get away with using no grease, but I haven't tried that yet. In this scene, I have generously buttered my foil, and my next step, I will be putting about 1/4 cup of batter on my foil, and I will be spreading it out with one of my favorite tools, which is a recessed icing spatula. This is the knife I'm talking about. And what you will do is you will scrape out a small amount onto the foil, 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup, and then you will use this to spread. And if you have a different recipe than this works well with lots of different recipes. Your dough or batter is much softer than regular gluten batter, and yet it should still spread. And this is a tapioca starch, brown rice flour combination. And I can post the recipe below. So, as you can see, I'm turning the foil, spreading the dough out to approximate thickness, trying to get it as even as possible so it cooks evenly, and so you don't have thin, weak spots and thick, heavy spots. And then you take the foil with the dough on it, and you take it over to the griddle, and you flop it on there. And you let it cook for about a minute.
Jesse did not make
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the other piece of foil.
Show me your fingers.
Is it all better? You got a Band-Aid, huh? Baby got Band-Aid? And if you're doing these for an entire family, obviously you would do them in a cycle where you would be, greasing some, spreading some, frying some, and if you have a good sized griddle, or if you make them smaller, you can fit 2 at a time on the griddle, which makes it go faster if you're doing this for, say, a whole family of people. I'm just doing a small batch for myself. Let's go check the one on the griddle. The one on the griddle, if you cook it properly, this foil peels right off. And there is your tortilla. As thin as a tortilla should be. And when it is... just realized I forgot to grease my griddle. It's what happens when you have craziness going around. Let's see if we can still salvage it. Okay. Note to self, grease griddle next time. And I will spread the next tortilla. In this particular recipe, I find that using one of the root starches, potato starch or tapioca starch, gives this the more chewy, rubbery texture. But then you still need to balance that with some brown rice flour or sorghum flour or some combination of some gritty flour, so as to give it more substance. Otherwise, the starch flours tend to just make it entirely rubbery and gummy, and I don't find it pleasant. Which is typical for most gluten-free flour blends. You have to blend to get the different textures and outcomes that you're looking for. Not any one flour is usually sufficient. Let's check this one again. And of course you want to fry it on both sides until it's golden brown with some of those little dark blobs. And of course this is going with my gluten-free rice and beef for making tacos for supper. A nice easy meal. See how we're starting to get those dark spots? That's what we want. And obviously you just keep on continuing with alternating your foil. And I'll re-grease this piece. You have to re-grease between every application, otherwise it will stick. And you just do it until you're done. So good luck and enjoy.